selection. And this portfolio analysis and selection is of one of the most important concept related to personal finance, because most of the students, those who opt for career in stock markets, this particular subject is going, this unit is going to give you very essential knowledge for pursuing your career. So I request you to please be attentive. And in this class we are going to discuss about the topic elements of portfolio management and the management process, portfolio management process. Let's see the lecture objectives. To introduce the portfolio management and also the understand the elements of portfolio, what are the different elements of portfolio and what is the portfolio management process, we are going to discuss. And also to know the portfolio management process, what is the process of portfolio management, also we are going to discuss it. And the lecture outcome is, the finally at the end of the lecture you will be able to aware about what is the portfolio management, and also can understand the and apply the management process, portfolio management process. So in case if you join any mutual fund company where in case if you want to manage the portfolio also, this process will help you to manage different portfolios in a systematic order. Now, what is a portfolio? Let's discuss about what is a portfolio is. Now, a portfolio is a collection of financial instruments or investments like stocks, bonds, commodities, cash and cash equivalents, including the closed-ended funds and exchange-traded funds. All these are known as the portfolio. So, a portfolio is nothing but a collection of financial investments. So there are different financial investments that are available in the market, as you know, like stocks, bonds, and the real estate funds and exchange traded funds, and many more financial assets are available. Now a portfolio is nothing but a collection of these financial investments is known as a portfolio. Let's say for example, I am simultaneously investing in some money in bonds, and some money in equity shares, and some in mutual funds, etc. So now what a portfolio is referred to as the collection of all these three type of investment alternatives is known as a portfolio. Now the portfolio management. So what is meant by a portfolio management is, now we have seen what is portfolio, set of all the different investment alternatives, but what is called a portfolio management is, a portfolio management is defined as the art and science of making decisions. So a portfolio management is defined as the arts and science of making decisions about the investment mix, policy, matching the investments to objectives, asset allocation for individuals and and institutions, and balancing the risk, balancing the risk against the performance. So now let us discuss about bonds, let's say commodities. Now what is my portfolio is the collection of all three investment alternatives is called a portfolio. Now portfolio management is managing the investment in all the three investment categories. Now here what we do is, we will have a certain objective in our mind. Let's say I would like to invest my money in with a set objective of safe retirement or else good retirement. In case of retirement, you will have to choose a safe and secured investment. So alternative wherein you can choose investment in the the money related mutual funds, or else the provident fund related instruments. So you can choose such kind of fixed income alternatives for the retirement corpus creation. At the same time, if you want to create, along with the retirement, you want to create a wealth for the for your family. So to create a wealth for your family and also the safe investment for the retirement, mean the corpus creation for the retirement, then there are two set objectives here. So one is retirement, the other one is wealth creation. Wealth creation. So to put these two objectives, maybe choosing one particular investment alternative may not be satisfied, so that we will have to choose multiple investment alternatives to suit our requirement. So exactly in portfolio management process we do this. So what kind of investment alternatives to be selected for our set objectives. So now the portfolio management is nothing but the art and science of making decisions about the investment mix, means what kind of investment that you require is called a investment mix. And also the policy, like in what way you have chosen to invest your money into, and also the matching investments to the objectives. This is one of the most important and critical step in this portfolio management process, that is matching the investments to the set objectives. Now I just want to retire safely forward, for which I need a kind of investment which gives me the safe return. So at the same time wealth creation, for which I need a kind of investment alternative where it creates means aggressive returns, which it should give aggressive returns. So the retirement as well as the wealth creation are two different set of objectives. So for which I need to match the investments with the objectives. Whatever investment that I am making, I should match with the objective. And also asset allocation for individuals and institutions. And also if it is the portfolio management for the company, then I need to think about the institutions, and if it is an individual, then I should think about the individuals. And balancing risk against performance, and then this is also another important aspect in the portfolio management. Means in the portfolio management we are supposed to match the risk with the performance. Say for example in a one particular alternative we are facing a certain level of risk. So now in a general sense, as you know, when you are taking more risk, then you would expect more return, and when you take a less risk, you would expect a less return. At the same time, in case of investment, whatever you have already done, you have taken more risk, but your portfolio is not generating more return but less return it is generating, then it needs your attention, and you need to revise this portfolio and ensure that your high risk portfolio must give the high risk high return from the investment. So that is also another important thing related to portfolio management that ensures. Now let's see the scope of portfolio management. To what extent this there is a scope for this portfolio management. So now important things related to portfolio management. First thing, the monitoring the performance of portfolio by incorporating the latest market conditions. This is one of the important thing. Latest market conditions. Market conditions may change over time. Okay, from time to time the market conditions will change. In case if market is not market's performance is less or poor, then in such a scenario you need to think about the alternative investment to the equity investment. At the same time, at the same time there may different changes may occur in market. So due to these different changes that you see in the market, according to that you need to interpret or incorporate certain changes in your portfolio. Otherwise your portfolio may lag behind the whatever the set benchmark. So that is why to ensure the optimum performance of your portfolio, what is required is the portfolio management is required. In the portfolio management, what you do is simply you will think about your portfolio, and you will see what are the different market conditions, market changes that are changes that are happening in the market, and due to that changes, how well that you can make your portfolio to ensure good returns can be done. So that's where there is a great scope for portfolio management. And then the the identification of investors objective constraints and preferences. And another important thing, in most of the investment portfolio managers fail in this, is that they may be well versed with the kind of investment what they are doing it, but another important aspect to be looked at is the investors objective, with what objectives that the investors are are making investment. That is important, and based on that you need to develop certain constraints, as yes, this is what an objective. Let's say for example, objective is a retirement. So when your objective is a safe retirement, then you cannot go for the most of the funds to the aggressive kind of investment alternatives, because if you go for aggressive kind of investment alternatives like equity or allied investments, and in such a scenario there may be a possibility that the markets may crash and maybe the return may come down. So that's why you need to think about the investors objective or investors expectations, and based on that you need to create certain constraints over which only you need to operate your management or whatever investments what you do it. That's why constraint is something like which restricts you to go for a kind of investment depending upon the investor's objective. And another thing is preferences. There may be different preferences for the shareholders, like they may prefer kind of what we call withdrawal from the portfolio, or else they may prefer a kind of aggressive investment, or maybe what we call uh, what investing the dividend fund into the mutual fund. So this kind of preferences that the equity share, the unit holders may have. So depending upon these preferences also you should incorporate in your investment, and for all this what is required is a portfolio management is required. So a right portfolio management ensures the keeping in objective of the investors, and putting the constraints and ensuring the preferences of the investors. Making an evaluation of portfolio income. So another important thing is the income evaluation. So how much income that a portfolio is generating, and how to think about this particular return, like whether we want to distribute this portfolio, this returns to the investors, or else it is better for reinvesting in the portfolio. So what is best that can be done, so which is happen only when you evaluate the returns of the investors. So that's why portfolio income also must be evaluated in a right way, right? Comparison with targets and achievements. So now this step requires the comparison of targets. So what is the set target, and also what is the achievement? Let's say for example in a portfolio we set a target of 15% return per annum. Now in a portfolio, if you put this 15% return per annum is the expectation, or what we call the target, and then achievement may be something different. It can be 20% or it can be 10%. So in such a scenario you need to evaluate this portfolio as why it has happened to 20%, or else why it has happened to this 10%. This kind of evaluation of portfolio helps you to understand the portfolio and take better steps for the performance of the portfolio. So to ensure that, again, this the portfolio management is required. And then making a revision in the portfolio, and then who will revise the portfolio is the portfolio manager. As a process of management, portfolio management, he will revise the portfolio, and this kind of revision is required as per the, again, the the market condition, or changes that are happening in the market, or else the overall expectation changes. Like say for example in this present corona pandemic situation, maybe investors expectations may change. Initially, by the time what they who they invest their money in the mutual fund may have a kind of expectation as growth. So some people, or some of the investors, those who invest their money in this the mutual fund, may change their preference, or else may expect the money to be distributed or income to be distributed. In such a scenario you need to revise the portfolio and manage the portfolio accordingly, for which again the portfolio management is again helpful for you. And then implementation of these strategies in tune with the investment objectives. That is also ensuring the implementation step. So implementation is something what you put your money exactly as per the intention or strategy what you have developed. So being a portfolio manager, you will have a definite strategy as how to invest the money in the portfolio. I mean, create a portfolio and invest money in the stock market. So depending upon this kind of strategy, you will actually invest in the market and try to achieve the investment objectives. That is also a part of the portfolio management. So these are all the various the scope of portfolio management. Now let's see the objectives of portfolio management. What are the different objectives behind the portfolio management? First thing, stable current return. So every investor expect this stable current return. So whatever return that is generated to the investors, they expect a stable return. So though it is an equity investor, though he is an equity investor or she is an equity investor, she expects a stable return. So sometimes it may be possible or it may not be possible, but with the a kind of efficient portfolio management, it is possible to ensure the stable return. So that's why again, which needs the active portfolio management. So that's why one of the important objective for the portfolio management is the stable current return. Whatever current return that is being generated, it must be stable. And finally, the return what they are expecting must reach at least match the opportunity cost of the funds for the investors. So there are different opportunity costs for the different investors, but these opportunity costs must be matched or what we call met by the current investment what you are doing. And then marketability. Another important objective of portfolio management is a good portfolio consists of investment which can be marketed without difficulty. So whatever portfolio that you are developed and managing, that portfolio must have a good marketability. Marketability is nothing but the ace with which we can convert the asset into cash. So now, to what extent the portfolio has the possibility of converting into cash. So this is very important because whenever the investors are in a position to liquidate their asset, so they must be in a position to do that. So that's why the marketability is again another important objective in the portfolio management. And then tax planning. So recent days the governments are very much particular about tax filing and tax returns. So in case of tax returns, then the investor must be in a position to pay tax in case if they breach the minimum required level. So that's why while tax planning also this portfolio construction and portfolio management may help for the investor, because the way you manage your portfolio, develop your portfolio and manage your portfolio, it will help you to optimize your taxes. So means you'll be able to minimize the tax payment and maximize your returns. So that way also you can use the portfolio management. So for the tax planning is also another important objective for the portfolio management. And then appreciation in the value of capital. Of course, every investor expects the appreciation in the value of capital. So a good portfolio management definitely ensure this, the appreciation of value of capital. If it is an equity investment, then you expect the what we call the capital appreciation as well as the dividend income. And in case of like fixed income alternatives like fixed deposits or any other company fixed deposits or so you will ensure with a return of interest amount. But finally what is required is the purchasing power must be ensured with respect to inflation, because the inflation again the rate at which the prices of goods and services are increasing. In case if inflation is more, then you will also you must also ensure that your returns also must be high. So that's why the appreciation of capital must be at least more than the inflation rate. That must be ensured, and that is also another important objective for the portfolio management. And then liquidity. The portfolio must ensure that there are enough funds available at short notice to take care of the investors liquidity requirements. Simply investors may need money urgently. So if they need money urgent, so that entire portfolio must be liquidated. So that kind of liquidity option must be available. So that's what a liquidity you have to ensure through your investment, your portfolio management way, that you should ensure this liquidity also. Also safety of investment. So another important objective with respect to portfolio management is safety for the principal amount, or what we call investment amount. So means whatever money that you are investing in the market or like in your portfolio must be safe. Means your capital must be safe. So that must be ensured. That is called a safety of investment. In case you are investing in a kind of portfolio where most of the investment that you invest in a kind of stocks, jet category of stocks, so that in case there is a default, then the capital must be at risk. So that's why that should be avoided, and you must ensure the safety for the principal amount. Now let's see the portfolio management process. So there is a systematic process. Portfolio management is a systematic process because a portfolio is nothing but a set of various investment assets. Now investable assets. So means there is a portfolio. You develop the portfolio including different financial assets. Now after developing the portfolio, you need to manage the portfolio. The way you manage your portfolio is the way your expectations or your investors expectations will be fulfilled. That's why what is the systematic process that is followed for the portfolio management. Now let's see. The first step in this entire portfolio management process is the assessment of current situation. So as a portfolio manager, being a portfolio manager, you should see that the current situation of the client. Say for example, you are a portfolio manager, and you are looking at the management of the portfolio. Now while looking at the management of the portfolio, now what must be looked at is, as a first step, you should see that you should assess the current situation. What is the current situation of the intended investors, or who have invested their money in the portfolio? What is the current situation? If the current situation is good, or like favorable for aggressive kind of investment, then definitely you can choose a kind of investment alternative wherein the equity component is more and debt component is less, and so that you can consider that particular investment is in the equity. So how you come to know about this assessment of the current situation? How do you ensure that the current situation is either it is good or it is bad? Now I'll tell you this with a small example. Let's say for example, there are three category of investors in a general sense. For the investors can be divided into three different category of investors: 25 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50, or more than 50. Now in such a scenario, for 30 to 25 to 30 category of investors are uh, you know people, those who have the risk appetite levels which are very very high. So means they can take more risk. Since they can take more risk, so that you can prefer a kind of aggressive investments like equity investment as such. But the next category of investors, like 30 to 40, so they are in the middle of their their risk bearing capacity, because they can't take more risk. At the same time, they'll not be in a position to go for very aggressive kind of investments, sorry, very conservative kind of investments. So that's why the kind of a moderate level of investment is required for this kind of category of people. And then 40 to 50 is category age group of people. They are very close to retirement, so they need funds at the retirement, so which is again safer. So that's why they these people cannot or afford any kind of aggressive investments. So we need to go for mostly conservative kind of investments like fixed deposits, or money market instruments, as such. That's why the Risk capacity for the 25 to 30 category people is more, and 30 to 40 is neutral, and the 40 to 50 category is again less. So this way the current situation can be understood, that who is that customer who is at the age of what age group that the investor falls under. Most of the portfolio investors have falls under, and depending upon that, you will be able to come to a conclusion of your total portfolio, investors, and based on that you will assess the current situation. And apart from this kind of approach, you can also follow different portfolio managers also follow different approaches, like taking their opinions, and also seeking their comments on the portfolio, and the kind of investment objectives what they set for the portfolio management. There are different approaches that portfolio managers follow for the assessment of current situation, but this assessment of current situation is the first step in the entire portfolio management process, because the entire process must be depending upon this an assessment. Because in the assessment, if you come to a conclusion that we can go for aggressive investment, then we can go, otherwise we should withdraw, or like we should settle down with the moderate in kind of investments, or as such. That's why this is a crucial step in the entire portfolio management process. You need to evaluate the investors, those who are putting their money in the stock market. So the right assessment is required as a first step. And the second step is the establishment of investment objectives. Next step in the portfolio management process is the establishment of investment objectives. Yes, it is very required to put an objective for the portfolio. One thing I would like to tell you about this, the establishment of investment objectives. So being a portfolio manager, we may not satisfy all the investors in the portfolio who have invested their money in the portfolio, but one thing is very clear, that you need to think about the common investors. So among all the investors in your portfolio, who which kind of investors are mostly have invested their money in your portfolio is very important one. You need to think about their average investor objective, and depending upon that investor objective, you need to set the investment objective for the portfolio. So that way your investment objective must be ensured. So this objective is like giving the wealth creation for the investors, or else giving steady income to the investors, or else the withdraw in what we call systematic withdrawal to the investor. So this way the objective for the portfolio must be kept, and this objective again, while setting up of this particular objective, you may also think about the way of what kind of strategies that you are going to follow for fulfilling this particular objective also must be recollected, because while selecting this objective itself, what kind of approach that you are going to follow for fulfilling these objectives must be there. And once the objective is developed, then it will give us a kind of guidance for the portfolio manager as how to proceed with the next step in the management process. Once the objectives are set, portfolio objective is set, so then determine the asset allocation. Determine the asset allocation. Let's say for example, we have pulled up 100 rupees, and we would like to invest this 100 rupees in the portfolio. Now in the while allocating your money 100 rupees in the portfolio, you need to think this step is nothing but determining the asset allocation, how you are going to allocate your assets. Let's say for example, in our portfolio we have different investment alternatives. Let's say we have equity, debt, and what do you call ETFs, exchange traded funds, and gold, real estate, okay, real estate, and uh, we have mutual funds. All these are all different investment alternatives what we have kept in our portfolio. Now, in this entire range of investment alternatives what we have selected, how do we allocate this 100 rupees? So, how much to be kept in what kind of investment alternative? This is nothing but determining the asset allocation. So, while determining the asset allocation, you should think about uh, now we need to distribute this 100 rupees across different investment alternatives. Now, how do we distribute is nothing but the asset allocation strategy. Now, we have in the previous step we have a data of the investment objectives. So, what investment objective that we have for the portfolio. Now, once we set this objective, let's say for example, our objective for the portfolio is growth. So, most of the investors expects a growth of their capital. Now, that is what is set objective for the portfolio. Now, taking this input from the investment objective, now we'll have to select the kind of asset allocation. Now, how do we asset and allocate the assets means because our objective is the growth of capital. So, since we are expecting the growth of capital in the long run, so that we will have to invest mostly our money in aggressive investment alternatives like equity and high risk related instruments. Now, in such a scenario, most of the money what we are investing in the market, the portfolio should be invested in high risk alternatives. So, high risk investment alternatives you can choose among this pure equity mutual funds. Equity mutual funds, if they are, then these are the high risk investment alternatives. So, for an example, I would like to allocate this for the growth capital growth objective. It can be like equity 60%, another mutual funds 20%, 70, 10%, 80, 5, 85, 90, 10. So, this way we reduced our investment into the conservative investments, and we have increased most of our investments into high risk investment alternatives because our objective is a growth of capital. In case if our growth, our objective is not a growth, but our objective is the safer income, then in such a scenario we may increase this debt portion to a greater extent and then reduce this equity capital to a we will keep this equity component as a very less. So, this is what is known as the asset allocation is. Next one is the selecting the investment options. So, what are the different investment options must be selected? So, now investment options like there are two different investment options that are possible for the investor, portfolio manager, that is active portfolio management and then passive portfolio management. So, in case if we want to manage the portfolio actively, means you need to think about every time how the markets are performing and is there any underperformer in our portfolio. Every time we'll think about it, means every day we'll think about the market, look at the market, its performance, and then based on that how the portfolio has been performing, and based on that information we try to make certain changes in the portfolio within a week itself. So, such a kind of aggressive changes that may happen in the portfolio in case of which we call active portfolio management. So, that is what is a investment option. So, we are opting for aggressive active portfolio management. In the other one is a passive portfolio management. Passive portfolio management is something like you invest your money in regular intervals, until then you don't revise the portfolio, and after the time that is reached to the revision, then you will look at the scenario, and depending upon the scenario you will make changes to the portfolio. So it's like 2 months, 3 months, maybe 1 year. So mostly in such a scenario you'll make the changes in the portfolio very few extent. So that kind of portfolio strategy is known as a passive portfolio management strategy. So in that way you will select the investment options, and then monitor and measure and rebalance. And the next one is the selecting the investment options. So selecting the investment options mean what kind of investments that must be selected for the, mean what kind of investment alternatives must be selected for the investment. Now in such a scenario you can choose various investment alternatives like equity, debt capital, debt investment, or equity based mutual fund, debt based mutual fund, or real estate mutual funds, or else pure research, mean real estate funds, or else the combination of debt and equity mutual funds. So in that way we will select the investment options. So these investment options decide the uh, growth of capital and the performance of the portfolio. So this is what is the selection of mean selecting the investment options. And then monitor, measure and rebalance. Another important step in the portfolio management process is monitoring, measuring and rebalancing. All these three are quite connected. First thing, we will monitor it. So monitor in the sense how the portfolio is performing, whether the portfolio is performing well as per the objective or not. In case if the object, as per the objective, our portfolio is not performing well, then in such a scenario what we do is, so simply we will make modifications to the portfolio, make changes, revisions to the portfolio, and then we will rebalance the portfolio. So that's why we will monitor and measure the portfolio, and finally in case of it is required, then we will again rebalance the portfolio to match the portfolio performance with the expected performance. So this is what is an another and the last step in the portfolio management process. Okay, this is nothing but a portfolio management process. So in this way, even if you can also develop your own portfolio, and you can manage your portfolio in this way in your personal life. So that's what is the portfolio management process is. Now let's conclude the topic by saying that the portfolio management is a process that not only useful but also essential for an investor who hopes to exploit his or her investment capital to the fullest possible extent, because in the portfolio management we ensure the portfolio to be performed well. That's why to the fullest extent the portfolio would be performed, and you will gain advantage by the portfolio management. Now let's see a small quiz on this topic. So what is the collection of investment alternate, mean financial investments like stocks, bonds, commodities and all? What is this collection is called? Portfolio. And ETF stands for exchange traded funds. And then the portfolio analysis helps in tax planning. Do you agree with this statement? It helps in tax planning? Exactly, it helps in the tax planning, because in case if you want to plan for the tax, then you will choose a kind of investment alternatives in your portfolio, so that your tax burden will be reduced. So that's why that is true. And then portfolio management is a concept of personal finance. Do you agree with this statement? Exactly, this portfolio management is a process or a concept of personal finance. So that's the end of the topic. Thank you very much for participating.